This is the Burrow, and this is Paralives. And with that, welcome to my very first episode in Paralives. I have been waiting for this game for so long, and finally it's here. I wasn't able to give you some good stuff yesterday already because I wasn't able to prepare stuff on the weekend, but here we are, and we're doing the ever so awesome Burrow from the Weasleys, obviously, in its, shall I say, old state, because we do not know how the new Burrow will be looking. Soon enough, we will find out, but with this Burrow, I have been doing this in various creative games, and it kind of became a little bit of a testing ground for me, because the Burrow as a building itself, and by the way, we're just doing the exterior, and that was already enough work for the first episode. It took quite long. And this offers a lot of challenges that not really many of these house building games deliver. I've been testing this in Zoe and wasn't able to even put out an episode because it's virtually impossible to do builds like that in this game. I've been doing this in various other games as well, and I must admit that most likely other games, not the kind of classic life sims, but other games are able to do this, obviously Planet games and so on. But I was very surprised by how flexible and how versatile the build tools in this game are, and also how intuitive, because honestly, I've been doing some testing about an hour or so before I jumped into actually building, and I was also trying to to get in some ideas how to deliver certain things, as we don't have water in the game. I found some tricks how to do like water, for example. But yeah, we also have to just go in-game in a bit, because unfortunately I did not check how much hard drive space I have available before recording, and I didn't notice that I was running out of hard drive space. So halfway through my recording, obviously didn't record anymore. So unfortunately I lost quite a bit of it. So that doesn't matter too much, because I'm going to show you in-game, and you have already seen a little teaser at the beginning where this is going. But I wanted to use this to say hello, hopefully to a lot of new people joining the channel. In case you stick with me until this point in time, hello, would you consider subscribing to the channel? That would be lovely, because I'll be covering this game quite a bit. We are testing a lot of crazy things. Like, I'm known for making the impossible possible, trying to go out of my comfort zone, and most likely we have to do a Star Destroyer in here again. I almost feel like we have to. That's a little side note, because I've been doing that in any other game as well. Anyways, this is going to be fun. We are going to try out a lot of things. We are going to try to rebuild certain things. We do some originals. I've been really testing this, and it's been fantastic for the moment being. And I can't wait to test out more, to do some interiors, to do some really cool storytelling things. I have some ideas. So in case you want to join the road and join the ride, make sure to come in and click that button, be informed whenever there's some new stuff coming. But let's just take that opportunity to talk about the build mode. So what does it make it stand out over the others? So I don't want to necessarily compare that too much to The Sims. I've been playing The Sims a lot in the past. Not really on that channel though, because that was a bit more like before my YouTube career, and yes, that is how long The Sims has already been there. It's most likely the freedom that the game offers, the ease of clicking one button and being not restrained to a grid anymore, the ease of just dragging roofs on top and then just scaling them, and having a very contextual, intelligent scaling made me so happy. Like that some pieces just scale from its origin, so the full item scales, but other pieces like scale in all dimensions and then relative to it. So that gave me a lot of opportunities to work with these kind of wonky roofs over here in the Burrow, because that makes sense, to have the opportunity to do that. And in other games, like for example in Zoe, which is a comparison, because I have just tried to do that, it's virtually impossible, because you somehow, even though you can override the grid, you can't do that with walls, for example. So an off-angle roof would look very odd if the wall still is on angle or on the grid, so that doesn't make sense. So having the chance to even so slightly make that move is so cool. Also having these customization options here, putting some trims and stuff on walls with the ease of a click, and still have the chance to like kind of customize them with like different colors and patterns. That is just like so intuitive and so good. And I was fearing, before the game was really shown more gameplay stuff, I was fearing that this very own unique style isn't growing too much on me, but I have to say they found a very nice middle ground. It's a very unique style. It's not too much to The Sims looking. It's obviously not realistic looking, but it still has that whimsical kind of cuteness to it without looking too cute and too out of the world. You know what I mean? So it still has that little, yeah, I can see that. This is a building, this is that, and then if you go in, really cool, really cool. I have to admit, what I don't know yet and what I have to judge later on is how the game copes with my builds in terms of playability, because most likely these games, it doesn't really matter which game it was, almost like certainly the Sims or the Paras or the people in this game, they couldn't use my builds because I'm like abusing pieces in a way that the game quite doesn't like, and so I'm doing the same over here as well. I had a couple of hiccups here and there. Remember, this is just an early access, so things will be fixed. But for example, this advanced move tool over here, which if you guys are from the Planet family, you are very familiar with this tool. If not, this is basically a tool that lets you put any piece in any direction, any rotation, and any place you want to, which is fantastic because it lets you take those pillars over here and turn them into a plank of some sort, and you can do some crazy stuff with it. But again, as I said, it may be a little issue for the people, because if the game intends it to be a trim or like a pillar, they maybe don't expect this being used as a plank, and then so people would not be able to walk by or below or whatnot. So I don't know yet. I have to test that. But you know, I have faith in the game that this potentially will work out in the end. In any case, as you can see, I was actually putting a lot of effort into making this lower part of the burrow look nice, just to have an idea to where things are. I must admit that I have completely reshaped the upper part of the building later on to make it align a bit more with the movie counterpart. Again, it's definitely not the best you can do in this game. While I was building, I was finding out so many other techniques that I could have used earlier, but I didn't want to completely scrap it yet again. I scrapped it already 2 times, so I'm assuming that the next builds I do will be much better than this one from its, you know, starting point. I'm just experimenting right now with some stairs, because what I didn't show you in this footage, and I will potentially not show you in-game anyways, I was actually trying to make this whole house functioning, but I kind of, you know, I didn't make it with the stairs. The amount of space given for the stairs is not working, and it's kind of an unfair comparison, because obviously the Burrow is a magical building, so they don't need to think about space constrictions, so they can just do whatever they want and just say it works, you know. And whenever I think about these stairs, I do think of this most awkward movie scene between Harry and Ginny. I think it's one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in any movie. There's like literally no chemistry between the 2 actors in that scene, and this happens on that staircase where, you know, Ginny tries to fix the lashes of Harry's shoes, and like, yeah, whatever. I do hope this video is bringing much more joy and much more fun to you than that scene, because eventually that scene is horrendous. Anyways, I have been enjoying this build so much. Like, really, I am enjoying this game so much, and the music is just fitting because I'm that hyped and energetic about it. It really delivers. But yeah, we are coming close to the point where my recording software figured that there is no more space to save whatever it's recording, and so I need to show you the full kind of nice looking thing in game, and also show you the ugly sides, because frankly it's been done as a little bit of a showcase anyway, so I did not pay attention to all sides the same way. But what am I talking about? Let's jump in and have a little looky look. So here we are in game, and as you can see, this is the finished product, the wonderful Burrow build. And as I've said, it's not perfect by any means. A couple of things also changed from saving this and loading back in. There are unfortunately a couple of things not into its position anymore. As you can see, I'm just flying around here a little. By the way, it's so cool that you can actually use the controller. I'm using the Xbox controller right now to fly around. That makes the movement much nicer and easier to go around this thing. Like, rotation is a little slow here and there, but you know, it's actually fine. You can rotate a little faster with the mouse if you wanted to. So one thing that unfortunately changed a little is some of the planks and stuff got deleted, and some things, as you can see over here on the side, these like little pieces there, as you can see here, they usually were in a bit of a different position. Those ones over here sticking out now. So it seems like the game doesn't quite want us to do. Oh, there's also another one just slipped down. Let me just actually show you in game so we can actually fix that real quick. So this thing down here, for example, there you get that one. That one did also slip away. Also, a couple of things, I can't use the shortcut. You can see down here, toggle advanced widget tells me that button, but on my keyboard, if I press it, it just doesn't work. I tested another just keyboard, also doesn't work. Really not sure what that is, but I can still access the tool like so, and then we can bring that thing up again. As you can see, that is just where I had this. So that one was here, and also this thing needs to be pushed down a little bit further. Here you go. Same goes about that one in the back, just making that a little cleaner looking, and the same goes for you, just move back. And then that one, for example, over here is a bit interesting because that one seems to mess with the scaling. So a couple of things, I'm not really sure why that happened, but yeah, it's easily fixed. As you can, up here you can see also some things just moved not completely accordingly. That one messed up the scaling. So I assume that this is just like some early hiccups with the advanced move tool here. Also, by the way, fun story, this is the water. As you can see over here, the water is actually just a plane of things. What is that piece? I don't know what exactly that piece is, but yeah, very good to know. Oh, you can't undo moving. Oh, okay, this is interesting. You can't undo movement in this thing, particular case. Anyways, you can drop the water in and out in this way. You can also change the water color, but I figured that this little color over here actually fitted very well. I mean, we could try to just adjust that a little, you know, get in with a bit more blue shade, depending on what you want. But I guess the color it had really was good already in the way it was. So pretty happy with how that turned out. I did make like a little cozy outside area here, but if we go in just to showcase, this is just how the build looks from inside. And again, this is, I guess, the problem. You can see how in the lowest version still some pieces are from the lower level. I guess this is why they mess around. I should have put these things on that level instead, but you know, it's kind of hard to see to which level exactly they are connected, so maybe that needs to have a little showcase. And yeah, here's also, earlier I talked about that experiment with the stairs. So the first stair I kind of got in, the second stair over here, as you can see, I tried to scale. You can scale that also nicely. If you go to the advanced toggle, you can scale this thing up and down, but what it doesn't do, it just doesn't create, as you can see, it is technically there, but it just never really created the little input I needed to have. So it does not really help to open up that thing, even though it should be technically like this, but it doesn't really do. You need to just have the stair in first of all working, and then you can do it. It's a bit of a shame, because I would have needed to put a wall in here to make that look nice, and some, yeah, I don't know, I tried it, but it, like, there frankly isn't enough space. And I do have I have some ideas how to actually do stairs, but like, because obviously there's like two ways of scaling this thing. So if you go out and use that kind of scaling, as you can see over here, it scales the entire stair like smaller, which is good. You know, you can do this and then use it like that, but it doesn't help you to reach the top over here. If I go up, obviously now it's a nice floor, but if I would scale it up the way that it does work, let's see if I can do this really quick. It doesn't also let me right now to do this. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky thing. I have to figure out how to do that properly in order to, you know, connect layers with each other. But I think the general idea is kind of, is clear. Also, fun story. Why is the color actually not adjusted anymore? And there's also like the second side of that one. Yeah, a couple of little things I did is not in anymore. It's a bit of a shame. But in all honesty, I'm totally happy with how that turned out. I mean, just like the sheer amount of flexibility and customizability you have is absolutely amazing. It really just really does what it does and what it needs to do. Really big fan of it while we're just having a look at it. Oh man, it's just so good. I kind of have some issues with the camera here and there. You can see there it jumps up and down. I assume that it's because technically we are in the water right now. I'm not sure exactly how that is, because if we go back, yeah, it doesn't really change much. I would love to be able to pan out just tiny bit more to see the roof of it. We're going a little too much up here. I don't know. You know, little hiccups at the beginning, they're absolutely necessary, I guess, for a game like that, because it would have been too crazy if it just worked, right? That would have been way too crazy, wouldn't it? So yeah, I just can't get to. Yeah, I want to stay that low, but then have the whole thing in the frame. It just doesn't allow me to. It just does not allow me to, but it's fine. Okay, anyways, guys, if you enjoyed today's video of building this burrow and you are in for some more, make sure to sub to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a nice comment. What do you think about that? And if you saw me doing some weird stuff and there was a better technique for that, let me know down below, because I want to get all the techniques in and all the tips and tricks and ideas. So let me know. That would be fantastic. And until then, have a good time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that video, and now up for a cozy time for you. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good morning whenever you're watching this video. I talk to you in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye.